Act 5. Meanwhile, Lady Macbeth becomes racked with guilt from the crimes she and her husband have committed. At night, in the king's palace at Dunsinane, a doctor and a gentlewoman discuss Lady Macbeth's strange habit of sleepwalking. Suddenly, Lady Macbeth enters in a trance with a candle in her hand. Bemoaning the murders of Duncan, Lady Macduff, and Banquo, she tries to wash off imaginary bloodstains from her hands, all the while speaking of the terrible things she knows she pressed her husband to do. She leaves, and the doctor and gentlewoman marvel at her descent into madness. Her belief that nothing can wash away the blood on her hands is an ironic reversal of her earlier claim to Macbeth that a little water clears us of this deed. In England, Macduff is informed by Ross that his castle is surprised, wife and babes, savagely slaughtered. When this news of his family's execution reaches him, Macduff is stricken with grief and vows revenge. Prince Malcolm, Duncan's son, has succeeded in raising an army in England, and Macduff joins him as he rides to Scotland to challenge Macbeth's forces. The invasion has the support of the Scottish nobles, who are appalled and frightened by Macbeth's tyrannical and murderous behaviour. Malcolm leads an army, along with Macduff and Englishman Siward, the Elder, the Earl of Northumberland, against Dunsinane Castle. While encamped in Birnam Wood, the soldiers are ordered to cut down and carry tree limbs to camouflage their numbers. Before Macbeth's opponents arrive, he receives news that Lady Macbeth has killed herself, causing him to sink into a deep and pessimistic despair and deliver his tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow soliloquy. Though he reflects on the brevity and meaninglessness of life, he nevertheless awaits the English and fortifies Dunsinane. He is certain that the witch's prophecies guarantee his invincibility, but is struck with fear when he learns that the English army is advancing on Dunsinane shielded with boughs cut from Birnam Wood, in apparent fulfillment of one of the prophecies. A battle culminates in Macduff's confrontation with Macbeth, who kills young Siward in combat. The English forces overwhelm his army and castle. Macbeth boasts that he has no reason to fear Macduff, for he cannot be killed by any man born of woman. Macduff declares that he was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped, that is born by caesarean section, and is not of woman born, an example of a literary quibble, fulfilling the second prophecy. Macbeth realizes too late that he has misinterpreted the witch's words. Though he realizes that he is doomed, he continues to fight. Macduff kills and beheads him, thus fulfilling the remaining prophecy. Macduff carries Macbeth's head on stage and Malcolm discusses how order has been restored. His last reference to Lady Macbeth, however, reveals 'tis thought, by self and violent hands, took off her life, but the method of her suicide is undisclosed. Malcolm, now the King of Scotland, declares his benevolent intentions for the country and invites all to see him crowned at Scone. Although Malcolm, and not Fleance, is placed on the throne, the witch's prophecy concerning Banquo, "Thou shalt get kings," was known to the audience of Shakespeare's time to be true. James VI of Scotland, later also James I of England, was supposedly a descendant of Banquo. Thank you.